What's up guys, this is cjbqulix and I'm going to be doing a little bit of a tutorial here for fixing an ASUS monitor that has been broken. Even though the computer itself still works, I'm actually going to power it up real quick just to show you what it looks like before I do any replacing here. So some things you're going to need to start off real quick. We're going to need a little screwdriver, a very small one, because the screws we're going to be taking out are incredibly small. Let's see if I can zoom in on one of them here. See these little stops right here, like that right there? It needs to be about that size, so keep that in mind. There's going to be a lot of those throughout the process. And it's always good to have a variety of heads just in case you need one for a bigger size or something like that. And then maybe some plastic bags as well to separate all those screws in, because there's going to be a lot of them, that's for sure, and we don't want any of those getting interchanged. So, and then a small towel, and we'll talk about why that comes in handy later in the process when we actually start taking it apart. So as you can see right now, the laptop powers on and I actually can run it through an HDMI into my TV and it will work fine, but unfortunately, as you can see, the monitor is just completely broken, so we're going to get right into it. First thing you want to do is those little stops I showed you earlier, like right here, there's 6 of these in each of the corners here, okay? And you're going to want to take out those 6 rubber stops and you're going to want to take out the screws, so I'm going to go ahead and get into that right now. Alright, so after we got the screws out, we're going to take off this little plastic piece that surrounds the actual screen itself. Just one thing I want to point out before I do that though, these 2 little rubber stops here at the bottom are a lot harder to get out than these ones because they don't actually stick out, so you're going to want to find something like, I used a paper clip, but when you're doing this, one thing you can do is actually grab the bottom of this. That's going to help you kind of like loosen it a little bit, just like that. Don't use too much force, like I said, just enough to kind of pop it out of there. So we got a good start on it. Alright, moving on to this next section, we're going to remove the top and then the bottom part of the frame. Both these parts have screws. I'm going to zoom in real close to the corner right here. You're going to have one right there. You're going to have another little one right there. You can use the same screwdriver to get this out as well. It's a Phillips screwdriver, by the way, in case you were wondering. For the bottom frame, we have 3 screws right there and then another 3 screws right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out and then we'll move on to the next part. Side ones as well. You can tell which one to take out by a little triangle right here if I haven't already mentioned that. So we're going to take out these 2 on the side real quick. Now after you got those 2 side ones out, there are actually 2 more in the bottom here. They're going to be about right here and then right here as well. So take those out. You'll see they're all connected to the same frame, so you'll also be able to tell which ones to take out by that. And to be honest with you, I'm looking at it right now. Alright, now we're actually ready to remove the bottom frame, so we're going to go ahead and do that. There should be nothing left holding it in. It comes out fairly easily. that we have that frame off, we're going to go ahead and remove these screws as well in the secondary frame behind the initial. So now we're going to go ahead and remove the actual screen itself. This is probably the most delicate process of the entire thing. We need to be really careful not to break the cord that's connected to the actual monitor itself behind it, that's also taped onto it. That's the most important part. So when you're taking this off, be careful not to jerk it out or anything like that. It's going to definitely easily pop out on the top, but the bottom is going to definitely take a little bit of finagling. Because now that this isn't attached, there's nothing mounting this or holding it from falling backwards, so tilt it forward so it doesn't fall. And you're going to see right here, I'm going to go ahead and switch it. Now that we have the old monitor off, we're going to go ahead and look right here. This is the part we want to take off. We need to be very careful about that. I'd say the best way to do it is to grab from here, and then also from right here, and kind of just lift up like that. So let's be very careful about this. Alright, so now we have the new laptop screen that was ordered from laptopscreen.com. Actually, a very good website for getting laptop screens. I highly recommend it. It's the cheapest place to get laptop screens anywhere on the market. So now what we want to do is, after we've taken this off, the little cord and tape, we want to go ahead and attach it to the new monitor, which I have sitting here. A good way to tell that you have it properly hooked in is you're going to hear 2 clicks when you try and get it down. You don't want any air bubbles. You want the tape firmly secured, and you want to hear those 2 clicks. So, alright, I'm going to go. Alright, now that we have that firmly secured in there, the clicks, by the way, aren't very loud. You're going to have to almost judge it for yourself, but you can feel a little bit of click when you slide it in. It pretty much matches the other side of where you're trying to slide it in. You're sliding it in from the side closer to the monitor itself, closer to this. It goes in fairly easy, but sometimes the tape can go in your way, so you want to kind of flip that backwards. Now that we have that completed though, I'm going to show you right here real quick. This is the old monitor. We still have this frame right here on the left and right side. We're going to take those off and attach those on there, and then we're going to just work in backwards order from there essentially, and just, you know, put on the bottom frame and then put on the top frame and then just put it back together. So you're going to kind of see the process here, but that's pretty much all there is to it. So be sure to like and subscribe if you thought this was a decent tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and finish out the process on screen myself, and then, you know, the rest is up to you guys. So good luck out there for all you do-it-yourselfers. This is my first time actually replacing this laptop, so I can't wait to check it out and see if it works. As you can see, the new screen works properly, which is great. I didn't really intend for it to turn on while I was putting it in like this, but yeah, see, I've got the side metal brackets now, so all we're going to do is just get it in place here and go ahead and screw the rest of the metal frame on. Go ahead and turn this off so it's not... Alright, so it is a little bit tricky getting the monitor back into the place. You're kind of going to lift it back behind the rest of the mounting, especially these metal brackets back here, and you're going to see like little black rods that stick out of almost where you took out all the nails. There's a couple in these corners. There's one on this side here, and there's one down by these bottom corners as well. You want to get all those to stick through the holes that are sticking out of the two frames that you just attached to the new monitor. This is without putting on the bottom frame here, which I still have, and then of course the top frame to finalize everything. Once you get all those holes and those rods through the holes, it's going to stand in there itself, and that's what you want it to do, so you can easily screw in the rest of the mounting brackets here. So all I'm going to do really is just start getting all these nails out and screwing everything else back in. So I'm going to start by screwing these side ones in so it's firmly secured here, and then you're going to see how easy it is to actually slide the bottom bracket in. Alrighty, the last thing we got to do are just to put in the rubber buttons, but I'm going to go ahead and do that off screen and just show you guys real quick while I still got time that it does work. And it's really not too hard of a process, honestly. Just follow the steps I listed out and said, and I'll probably add some steps in the video as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to check out laptopscreens.com if you're interested in buying your own screen and replacing your own computer screen. I highly recommend doing so. So check you guys later. Thanks for stopping by.